Okay, are you sure this time? Because because this will probably be the last time I record this. Okay. Hey guys, COMPUTEROSIS here, and we're gonna be starting a new LP right now. We just had to go through the whole menu screen right here, but if you can already tell from the title, this is gonna be a let's play of Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, part of the Jak and Daxter collection on the PS3. So of course it's in glorious HD. As sort of a little backstory to what's going on here, I previously did a recording of this, a post-commentary recording, and it was phenomenal. There was like a few problems with it, but overall it was really well done. But unfortunately, it got deleted. No thanks to my computer. So now I'm doing this other recording, and hopefully it actually works. And also, two things I want to point out on this. One is I'm trying to make sure that you can actually hear my voice over more than the actual gameplay itself. No offense, but if I kept both the audio in the game, the audio that is being transmitted through this microphone at the same level, you'll almost be hearing the game more than you'll hear my voice, and my voice will seem like that muffled radio sound while you're trying to watch the special, and you're like telling, could you turn it down? I'm trying to see what's gonna happen. I was gonna go on act out on it. It's like when I act on the fact. Never mind. It's no big deal. But anyway, I was gonna subscribe what I'm seeing on the screen right now, but due to the fact that the audio might be a little bit synced out, it might not happen per se. Just want to throw that out there, just in case of, So anyway, Jak and Daxter: Precursor Legacy. This is supposed to be the easier of the Jak trilogy, with Jak 2 being the hardest and Jak 3 being the medium-ist on it, which I won't give a final verdict to that until I actually do beat the Precursor Legacy, and then I'll pull in what I feel about the difficulty setting and all that. There's a lot of stuff that I might want to talk about. Like, I might go off on a tangent and talk about like some other stuff. And of course we have the opening sequence, and already there are no subtitles, so of course we have good old Samos doing the intro, giving us some things to think about. In case if you're wondering, by recording this post commentary, I cannot hear the video itself. So there are times where I will indeed be talking over people. In fact, it will seem like as if I'm purposely doing that. It's not my full intention, but unfortunately, I cannot hear the video from my end. All I can do is watch the video, but since there seems to be a desynced issue when recording the post commentary and watching the video itself, Okay, so at first I was gonna make like people guess the two things that are wrong with this, and then someone's like, well, first off, the audio is synced out. Second, when you were talking about the mysterious Meltwell being your favorite episode, being one of your favorite episodes of My Little Pony, but when you said that Applejack was your favorite pony, but I remember in the comment section for the Derby keychain, you mentioned that Rainbow Dash is your favorite pony. So is that another mistake? And I'll be like, yes, you're perfectly right. In fact, that second mistake wasn't supposed to happen in the first place. I was supposed to say Rainbow Dash. And originally, my voice was being muffled out by the Oracle, but, I'm thinking way too ahead on this. Let's just hear what this guy has to say. And oh my gosh, what an interesting voice he has. And the woman on to his right, all I have to say is, if I could give you a nickname, it would be Chrysalis. Because that's basically what I first thought of when I heard you. And of course, what was that? I heard something. Better go check it out. And of course, we're just a bunch of nosy people thingies. I don't know, what species are they exactly in the Jack universe? Because they aren't elves. They're not Hyruleans. And I'm pretty sure they're not the same race as that one archer dude. What's his name again? I forget. Legolas? Yeah, Legolas. Whatever. So, of course, I guess this game has a lot of comic mischief, so whatever. I mean, what are you gonna do, Jack? I know exactly what to do. Time to throw it! Yes, good idea! And my friends online. Just ignore that. In fact, going online and offline is actually, what he does is actually pretty hilarious. And of course, we have Daxter reacting to throwing into Dark Eco, and well, he's taking this quite well. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And oh my gosh, he has no penis. Oh, this is just getting from bad to worse. And oh my gosh, I think Samos found out. Man, you can't keep secrets from sages anymore. Speaking of Samos, I really like the banter between Samos and Daxter. Just right off the bat, it's like in Jak 2 there was sort of this banter with this, with of course Daxter and old Samos and young Samos. I mostly was laughing more with the banter between old Samos and young Samos. We have to find the kid. No, we have to find such and such. But of course, the best moments where they're like, where they both give Jak the same idea, and they're like, "Good hunting," and he's like, "Oh, that got kind of creepy." So, whatevs. But you know, yeah. Apparently, the other sages are too lazy to turn on their portals. Really, old powerful people being lazy. Jeez. You would think that you would actually get sorry, I'm distracted by Kira. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. But what can I say? Jak has good taste, unlike in Jak 3. But you know, I'm nitpicking on I'm nitpicking on something that happens in the future, literally in the future. Yeah. So of course, being told that we're gonna need power cells, and we need 20 of them, and but before we can even do any of that, we need to brush up on our skillies, because apparently we totally forgot them. But whatevers. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about the other recording. I'm sorry. It was such a better recording. Well, not because of what I reference and what I joke, because I made like 20 references at a time, a few of which were like reoccurring, right? But you know. But I'm gonna try my very best to tell you what I said in the previous recordings, where I'm talking about like you notice how I'm moving the camera like back and forth at times, and you notice how I'm like just going all over the place. Well, first off, about the camera issue, I'm just getting used to the reverse camera. I might end up changing it. The reason why I'm going all over the place is because whenever I play the game for the first time, I try to check out my limitations. even though the instruction guide will tell me my limitations and all that, because I actually read the instruction booklets. I'm pretty sure a lot of people still do, but I especially read them even before I jump into the game and really start testing the limitations, which ends up with me going on like acting like as if, yeah, I need to get all of these precursor orbs because they're so hard to find, yet they're in front of me. Yeah. So, and here we go. About to learn about the power cells, and their rare values and stuff. Basically, the power cells have become the precursor orbs of the future, where they are common to find, but they're rare to find them all, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I am trying to compare apples to oranges to bananas. But anyway, in a previous recording, I mentioned about how it said PS3, and I was like, maybe it should say PS2. And I also mentioned uppercut. Uppercut! I know how to uppercut. Why won't you die as an uppercut? And that's the last time I do uppercut for a while. But, and then we get introduced to the scalp flies. Or at least these boxes where you literally need to do a headbutt in order to break them down, but at the same time, yeah, scalp flies. Face cure for mentioning something that I just mentioned. Sorry about that. I don't know. This post-coverage for everything, it's not that bad, but when you have the syncage issues that for some reason, I have no control over at all. Like, I'm trying my very best to try to edit out, but for some reason, the closest I can do is edit out the volume between the audio coming from the video and the audio coming from the microphone. But that doesn't mean I won't try to experiment further on this in any way, shape, or form. So who knows what the future may hold? Oh, Pecker, you're hiding something, aren't you? So anyway, getting used to back to swimming again, and yeah, I'm back on land. Hoorays! Look, I'm so sorry. I am really tired, really just out of it. In the next recording, hopefully I can be much more enthusiastic, a lot more random, like driving the Twilight Taco. Oh man, I had a dream I was driving a taco, only it wasn't Twilight, it was Rainbow Dash. Only it was through the skies, like as if it was like Neon Taco Dash. Yeah, that was an awesome dream. Now I'm thinking about the Wiz. Like, Grandma, I was in the land of Oz, and you weren't there, and you weren't there, and you especially weren't there. But Michael Jackson was there, but he didn't really do that much Michael Jackson-esque stuff, which was kind of disappointing. But of course, this is the whole tutorial thing. I mean, it, like, to a certain extent, the tutorial should have been like common sense. Like, I watched a video where the guy's talking about Mega Man X, and how the Mega Man games, they basically, you don't need a tutorial in order to tell you stuff. You can basically figure it out for yourself. And he's kind of right on that. Like, sometimes tutorials are not that bad, but basically it's the way that they're handled. Oh, and if they're handled incorrectly, they make you seem like as if you're kind of dumb. Like, you're fine with the fact that there's a tutorial, like, I'll go for the tutorial, it's no big deal, it shouldn't take me that long. But it's not until you realize, wait a minute, Wait, you're telling me that the square button is to attack? What kind of sorcery is this? I did not know. And X is to jump? You don't say. And what, the triangle button has the special abilities? Whoa, my mind is blown. It's like you make it seem like as if I didn't read the instruction booklet. Or to a certain extent, the game didn't come with an instruction booklet. And oh look, I got a trophy. Which, yes, just to be clear, every time I get a trophy, I will literally press the PS button and look at the trophy section, just as a heads up. But please let me know in the comments if you really want me to stop it, because, you know, I'll just keep on doing it. But if I get enough people to say they don't want, in fact, better yet, someone comment and then just thumbs up that comment. God, if that comment gets a whole bunch of thumbs, or at least to a certain extent, as much thumbs as it probably could get within the time span between that video being uploaded and the next video that I'm doing post commentary for, then I will not do that. Now, granted, you have to wait for the next other episode to be uploaded for that to happen, unless it was done really quickly. But you'll get the idea, and I'll stop doing that. And the only time I'll do that is if I personally, while playing the game, have to look up what's the next trophy, or to a certain extent, yeah, mostly just upload open what's the next trophy? Oh, the next trophy looks like it's something that I could do. Maybe, but you know, I mean, there's a couple of mistakes I kind of do in a sense. One thing that I mentioned in the previous glorious post commentary recording that was lost, no thanks to my computer, was I mentioned about how some of the Let's Players that I subscribe to, they've played the Precursor Legacy, and I've watched their Let's Plays of it from start to finish. And then I made a comment saying, well, someone will be like, well, if you saw them, then it's not blind then, because you saw them firsthand. And then I'll be like, well, no, not in the sense that you're thinking of. No, it's still technically blind. Fine. I just have more of a general sense of what's going on. And that doesn't mean I actually remembered what everything happened. Like word for word, gameplay by gameplay, like basically just by watching it for the first time, like, yeah, I know what to do. You don't have to run and show it twice. Yeah, I saw 3 LPs of this game. Of this game itself. Oh, so... Oh yeah, I made a joke with saying, what should I go to? The Green Sage's Hut, the Green Sage's Hut, or the Green Sage's Hut? Well, I hate going to the Green Sage's Hut, so I'll go to the Green Sage's Hut. But of course, due to the fact that this audio is indistinct, the joke went flat, but it wasn't that noticeable as well. So I guess in a sense I'm probably just gonna go on tangents on this one. Most because of the fact that either I talk about something that's vaguely obvious but that already happened, or just, you know, but yeah, because basically the last blind LP that I did well, last completed blind LP I did, which was Sonic 06. I mean, granted, I saw the LPs for that. Well, actually, I only saw one LP of it. And of course, it was for post commentary. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna and I'm like, okay, So, well, there's a lot of LPs on there, but they're most for the Xbox 360. So, I'm gonna get the PS3 version. I mean, it came out a month later, so let's see how bad that is. And it was equally as bad in more ways than one. Oh yeah, in the post commentary, I actually yawned to mention that, because I was like, it's like, okay, I am so tired, and now I'm like, like that, and then just and that was like non-scripted. And the other thing I mentioned was like, don't, not in the comments, don't mention like why do you go over there and stuff, like why are you like going around that place, and are you trying to get into that window? I mean, what's wrong with you? And the only answer I can give you is, that's how I play games for the first time. I explore the limitations. Yeah, I literally do that. See how far I can go. And we talked to the mayor. Oh gosh. And like I mentioned in the previous recording, but I'm going to mention again, that he reminds me so much of the mayor from Osmosis Jones. And then, speaking of Osmosis Jones, I never saw Osmosis Jones as a bad movie. I will agree that it wasn't Bill Murray's best, at his best, but it wasn't exactly a bad movie in that sense. I mean, you have a black person or a white person trying to do a Chris Rock impersonation. Unless that was Chris Rock, then ooh, yeah. I just now realized if I kept that old recording, then there would have been some awkwardness when re-hearing it again. But you know, and of course, right when he mentions about the 90 precursor orbs, my friend goes offline. Pure coincidental, unintentional. So, God, what was I talking about before? Oh right, going off on tangents. Like with Sonic 06, where basically, it felt like as if I was like going on a report of life, like, yeah, I'm gonna go on the Radicals train. Fuck, I just died. Now I'm gonna do that all over again. And it just, like, of course, like, you want to hear something that's pretty entertaining. The only entertaining thing about that is just to see how rage I get. And it's not until the final episode where I had to literally stop the camera. Bruh. And I wish I had like that stuffed bunny that Penny has from Chan. I feel sorry for the bunny, because the bunny will probably get revenge on me, later on. But just, that's how much rage I had. Just, and despite having this new form of recording where I might end up redoing some of my old LPs to compensate for that, for like redo Kingdom Hearts and redo Star Fox Assault, maybe even redo Jak 2 on Hero Mode, even though it only has one level where one mission that I just really hate it. Well, I hate the first part, and the second and first part, they're okay even on Hero Mode, but it's just the first part that just gets to me. It just does. It really does. But everything else is like, yeah. Which, speaking of which, I played Jak 2 again on just normal. I didn't go on Hero Mode, and I realized I suck at normal. I really do suck at normal. Like, I haven't had this much awkwardness, like, replaying something at a lower level, was when I was replaying Kingdom Hearts 2, because I got done playing it on Proud. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give Standard a chance, and I did, and I sucked. I literally sucked. Like, I was, like, dying at least once on all the bosses, and I'm like, what happened? these are supposed to be easier. Like, what's going on? Like, have I become so good that the simplest things just become so difficult? Well, like, it shouldn't happen that way. What's going on? And just, and now I'm thinking about to the old recordings where I'm trying my very best to give comments on these different people who are asking to do these odd stuffs, or even just 90 precursor orbs in order for them to give me their power cell. So, just, yeah, I'm sorry, just can't. And I actually have no idea what those are, but they're filled with a lot of precursor orbs, so I'm perfectly fine with it either way. Anyway, and we're getting close to the part where I talk about why I feel the Mysterious Well to Well is one of my favorite episodes, and whenever I told a couple of people on the Precursor Daily during the comment section that I mentioned that it was actually one of my favorite episodes, and like really, like, you're like one of the 3% that liked that episode, and Rainbow Dash is your favorite pony. That's weird though. You should probably just hate that episode to its core. And of course I couldn't elaborate on that, which in this video I'm like, sure, I hate the fact that our friends just basically pulled the ultimate payback, which could ultimately mean the destruction of their friendship, just to teach her a lesson. But the way they do it is so wrong that it just wants me to go and just, well, I guess get revenge, except maybe on Fluttershy, because you cannot hate on Fluttershy. You just can't. Even if Fluttershy's not your favorite pony, even if Fluttershy is like your least favorite, and you least favorite, you just can't hate on Fluttershy. You just can't. If you hate on Fluttershy, you have no soul. But just, yeah. But whatevers. So of course, got another Scout Fly, and now we're gonna be talking to the Oracle, which is not surprising at all since he plays a key role in Jak 2 and Jak 3. So it will seem out of place if he's not in the first Jak and Daxter game. It will really seem out of place, like really. It'll be like, where did he come from? But of course, it's the same design. So what I'm trying to figure out is which one of these like Oracle statues, because I know there's like more than one of them. If there's anything like in Jak 3, for instance, because Jak 3, I see it as the most recognizable to at least trying to be the first Jak and Daxter game while still retaining its Jak 2 like elements, sort of. But then there is more than one location for the Oracle. So yeah, and look, I've gotten all the precursor orbs, and a trophy should appear now, and I pause to show the thing, which I'm going through. I'm like, okay, 100 orbs. How many orbs do I need to receive before I get a silver? 1,000? And how do you get gold? 2,000? Oh, just wow. But whatevers. And I know I already missed the part where Daxter's like, okay, we have enough precursor orbs to make the trade, and now I'm like, I know, Daxter, but we're not gonna do it just yet. And then a few minutes later, I'm like, you know what? Fine, I'll do it. But after I collect the rest of those scout flies, and where are they exactly? But before I do that, let's rattle up the yak owls. Before I made a joke saying, "Wait, you're too lazy to do it yourself?" Twilight, get my rope. But you know, because I'm wrestling up some cattle, only without a rope. I'm doing Applejack style, and even though I can basically, I think I can physically hurt them in order to make them go faster, that's animal abuse, and Fluttershy will not like that. Fluttershy does not like animal abuse, but apparently she is succumbed to animal abuse by Angel. And I mentioned this in the second time I recorded this. I'm like, how about that Angel, huh? Such a little angel. How? And then I just couldn't keep a straight face. Like, granted, there are some characters in Friendship Magic that I just do not like, and I sometimes wish that they would be a little bit more nicer. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of hard to not imagine the episode without you. As weird as that may seem.
Well done, my boy.
Team, actually no, I think that makes perfect sense.
Now I can sleep in peace.
But whatever.
So
So anyway, back to wrestle up the last yak owl, which ironically was actually the most challenging one, because I kept on going off to the sides, and for some reason it just stopped. Okay, it only happened once, that instance, and then of course the rest was just done, and then I'm like, yay, I did it! Now let's talk to the guy and get a power cell. Yeah. So he's like, so of course we talk to him. He's like, yeah, you did it. And my friend, he's back online. Right when I'm about to get a power cell. I was a precursor orb. And I know I haven't commented yet on the different dances that Jack and Daxter, especially Daxter, does whenever they get a power cell. But you know, it's enjoyable. I mean, you only hear that cheerful song like once, as a reference to say, yeah, this is a Jack game. But then it's like, damn. Oh right. Like, we can't do our infamous dancing poses after getting the flag because we're technically on an unstable, abandoned building, kind of. Yeah. And to be honest, I did not know those last two scout flights were there. Like I did not plan for that to happen. It just happened. Oh, and also in the previous recording, the one of the mistakes I did get wrong, besides the desyncing, and for the fact that I said Applejack was my favorite pony, I would give you a list from like Rainbow Dash all the way to who's on the 6, but to me it's me. I kind of just stopped doing that because for every new episode the list always changes, but Rainbow Dash always stays as my favorite. I guess because I mostly am her, but then again I'm a mixture between her, Pinkie Pie, and Applejack, which could explain why I like so why whenever I hear say Applejack is best background pony, and then they're saying it seriously, I'm just like, that's really cruel. And then after seeing the season 2 poster, the official poster, which of course the main 6 all in different areas, and then Applejack just so happens to be near the train, which happens to be in, guess what, the background. It didn't irk me, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be irked when I hear people say, yeah, she's best background pony. And apparently it's canon. But whatever. Anyway. Oh yeah, when I gave the 9 Precursor Orbs to our so-called grandpa, I made a joke saying like, yeah, we're gonna be getting a power cell from our Uncle Grandpa. And then I realized, no one's gonna get that. No one's gonna get that reference. But then there's a lot of reference that people wouldn't get anyway. I mean, people will get the reference super special awesome. But when it comes to anything like that, no. I think some people know who Tux Dog is. Maybe. Who knows? I really have no idea. And I'm running out of time because I'm about to go into the Forbidden Forest. So, with that in mind, we will continue the discussion in the next episode. Maybe. Anyway, this has been COMPUTEROSIS, and this has been Let's Play Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm running out of time. I'm finished up. Blossom apples. Woo! It's a work in progress.